This is the longest race on the books, the 1500 metres freestyle final for women. And it's Van Ruwendaal of the Netherlands across in lane 1, Boyle of New Zealand in 2, Ashwood of Australia 3, then it's Ledecky and Fries in 4 and 5, Cobrich of Chile, Capas of Hungary, and the Italian Poncelli, who, as I mentioned, certainly in the open water program takes it out very hard, but I think we know who's going to take it out the hardest here. That is Katie Ledecky, who leads after the first 50, and already the lead is about 3/4 of a second on Fries and Ashwood.
And she's 0.19 under the world record split at the 50. But that could just be the adrenaline from the start kicking in. Time will tell as this race progresses. She's already a body length clear.
She knows only one way to swim, only one pace to swim really, in terms of the early part of the race. Of course, she can pick it up to that next gear later on, but she goes through the 100, 5 100ths inside her own world mark. Ledecky leads, Fries in second place, and then you go back to Ashwood. Ashwood's only just in front of Boyle, and Poncelli down there in lane number 8, and then it's Capas, Cobrich, and Van Ruwendaal who'll be bringing up the rear at this stage. Under world record pace as they go up towards the 150. Katie Ledecky, the winner of the 800 metres gold medal at the London Olympics. That's the longest distance for the women at the Olympics, so she's done all she can there, and she is looking to add to her 400 metre title here.
She is, and she's looking very strong. Lottie Fries there, she's going to race for the silver medal. She turned second ahead of Lauren Boyle, just ahead of Ashwood from Australia.
Look at the world record line here.
Body length under world record already, that's unbelievable.
At the 200 metre mark, Ledecky, 1.3 seconds under her old world record, her current world record, I should say, her current world record.
You know, this is great for women's distance swimming because Katie Ledecky is helping these other girls, where they might have not gone as quickly as they thought they might have been able to. Whereas when Katie Ledecky is going fast, well, then they know that they can strive to be better swimmers. And at the moment, Lottie Fries isn't too far away from that actual world record line.
Yes, indeed. But Ledecky leading it by 2.5 seconds over Fries. It really already has become two separate races here, I'd suggest. It's a race between Ledecky and the gold, that's one of them, and the other is the race for silver and bronze.
That's right.
There we suggest that Ledecky has the gold wrapped up. She still has to do all the work. We can sit here and watch, but it seems a formality. She is that dominant as she goes down to the 300 metres now. Ledecky it is who leads 1.5 seconds under world record pace, 3 seconds away from Fries and Boyle. And in 4th place, Ashwood of Australia. She will be narrowly in front of Poncelli. Back to Capas, across to Van Ruwendaal, and Cobrich at the rear.
One of the differences I've noticed between Ledecky and the rest of the girls is Ledecky always gets good distance off each turn. She always stays underwater, does a dolphin kick. There's a lot of the other girls in the distance swimming don't do that. They come up straight away off the turn. These little things make a big difference over a long distance swim. And
she's certainly putting a bigger gap between first and second. Slowed down in terms of that world record split. It was back 500ths of a second on that last lap. So it's going to be interesting to see what sort of pace she can maintain. But certainly she's opened up a bigger gap over Lottie Fries as she goes down towards the 400 metre mark. Now she's kicked away from that world record again, 1.72, and she's opened up almost 4 seconds on Fries. 3rd place, Boyle of New Zealand in the bronze medal position at the moment. 4th, Ashwood of Australia, and then it's Poncelli of Italy in lane number 8, Capas of Hungary, and then back to Sharon Van Ruwendaal across there in lane number 1, and Capas, Cobrich, I should say, of Chile. 450 gone. 1.83 under world record pace. 4 seconds, more than 4 between first and second.
It really is remarkable. She's so young, only 18 years old. She's achieved so much.
Well, I tell you what she's achieved in the last 12 months or so. She's lowered this mark. Given the fact she wouldn't swim the 1500 all that regularly, she's already lowered the mark 4 times in the space of 13 months or so. Ledecky in June last year, she already held the world record at that time, but she lowered it to 15:34.23. 2 months later, she lowered it to 15:28.36, 15:27.71. Overall, she's broken the record 4 times. The first time was back in 2013. Kate Ziegler, the American, held the world record at 15:42.54. That was for about 6 years until Ledecky came along. And it seems just about every time she swims a 1500, she lowers the mark.
Yeah, and she's stretched that to 1.92 under world record pace now. Settling into a nice rhythm. Even splitting throughout this so far, 600 metres.
Well, we'll see the time. Yesterday morning she went through in 6:11.18, and she's almost 2 seconds inside that time now, 6:09.19.
Big race on between Lottie Friese and Lauren Boyle at the moment. Not quite halfway though, still a long ways for these girls to swim. But I think Lauren Boyle is looking superb, in control. She's in lane 2, Lottie Friese lane 5.
Well, at the last World Championships, of course, Ledecky won the 4, the 8 and the 1500 metre treble. Prior to Ledecky, back in 2011, Friese was the gold medalist. And Boyle, she finished 6th on that occasion, but she took the bronze behind Ledecky and also Friese at the last World Championships. Good battle for second, and it's hardly a battle between Ledecky and the world record. She's leaving the world record for dead at the moment. We'll have a look through the 700 metre mark now, more than 2 seconds under that time. Ledecky already $30,000 richer after breaking the record yesterday. And looks like another $30,000 coming into the piggy bank in it's
a nice chunk of change.
Probably about 8 minutes from now, thereabouts. What does an 18-year-old do with $60,000 in the space of 2 days? Not to mention what it means in terms of sponsorships and all sorts of other payments. There's that battle for second we spoke about. Gone through the halfway point now. They're coming down towards the 800 metres, and she leads by at least 10 metres. There's that battle for second in the white cap. It's Lottie Friese in lane number 5, the dark cap Boyle, but we head up the pool and we find Katie Ledecky, who goes through the 800 now, 2.04 under her own world record. There's the battle for second. Boyle taking over just in front of Friese. So Boyle in second place now. Friese back in third. Back in fourth place as we have a look down through the field. It would be Ashwood of Australia. You get a bit of a feel for the rest of these swimmers. It's hard to get them all in the one shot though. They're spread out so much. It's Poncelli. In fact, Cobridge would be in front of Poncelli, and then across to Van Ruwendale, and it would be Kappas. Cobridge at the back. Down they come now. Coming down to the 900 metre mark. At the 900, yesterday Ledecky went through in 9:17.76. 9:17.76. And she's already a couple of seconds under that world record mark. 2.5 seconds now, 9:15.26. She is looking super good, the American, Ledecky.
She's so strong and she's not even kicking her legs yet. I find this really quite remarkable.
When she looked up at the stands after her heat swim yesterday,
she couldn't believe it.
She couldn't believe it. She thought she heard her name. She saw the waving and from the fans, particularly from her American teammates. And she thought, what's all this about? She had to wipe her eyes and have a good look at the board. And She thought, I wasn't even trying. I had no intention of breaking the world record. It was a warm-up swim for the final.
I'm really enjoying this 1500, the battle for, obviously, the spectacle of Katie Ledecky dominating and smashing this world record at the moment, but the race for silver is hotting up. These girls are battling it out.
27-year-old Boyle holding down second over the 26-year-old Freese, but there is Ledecky, 2.32 in front of that chase pair. And she's just looking super strong, breathing. It's just another day at the office, breathing to her right. It's just a matter of going through the motions here for Ledecky. I guess that's how many laps to go. They will be very well aware of that. She's got 450 to go.
Yeah, she's splitting 31 zeros down to 30.9, then 30.88 for that last lap. So she's speeding up.
It's a good break that Boyle has over Freese now. We saw them go into the 450 turn, and she's out by a couple of body lengths over Freese. So Lauren Boyle of New Zealand, she is in the silver medal position at the moment. Lottie Freese clearly in the bronze position. Ashwood of Australia holding down fourth, then across to Cobridge. But look at this through the 1100, 2.6 under world record pace. Ledecky of the United States, second and third, about to go through that point now. 400 to swim for, first of all, Boyle and then Freese.
Yeah, Lauren Boyle has a personal best of 15.44. Freese has got a personal best of 15.38.
Well, they're a long way behind, at least 20 metres behind our race leader Ledecky, who has 350 still to swim. 2.42 under, so at the moment she's looking at a time of around 15.25, low 15.25s, but gee, the way she'll in all likelihood bring it home, it could be much quicker than that.
Yeah, she's averaging 30.9, 31.0 for the whole way so far, and the final 100 metres is going to be a sprint. She's going to bring in her leg kick and be sprinting to the wall.
So she has just under 300 to swim now. Katie Ledecky, Boyle clearly in second place, and Freese third, Ashwood fourth. Remembering, in about 20 minutes from now, Ledecky will be swimming in semi-final number 2 of the women's 200 free. She would have that in the back of her mind at the moment, but she, with $30,000 up for grabs for the world record, she won't want to be conserving too much energy. She needs to finish in the top 8 in the 200 to make the final.
There's no way. She's going to go into every race with the determination and commitment that is required.
Second and third, turning with 250 to go. Boyle up there in lane number 2, Freese in lane 5, Boyle of New Zealand, Freese of Denmark, but it's the American, Katie Ledecky. Just over 200 metres to swim now in the women's 1500-metre freestyle final, and Katie Ledecky, the remarkable Katie Ledecky, is on course for yet another world record. She lowered this mark in the heat. She took it down to 15.27.71, and she is 2.5 seconds inside that mark. She has led from the start. She's been under world record pace from the first 50, and she's heading for another gold medal and, it would seem, another world record in the 1500 metres. As she goes up now with 150 metres to swim. We'll watch the clock there. She slowed it down just a little. She's still inside world record pace, 1.87. It's Boyle of New Zealand second, and Freese of Denmark third, and then follows Ashwood of Australia.
Tremendous swimming here for Katie Ledecky. The crowd is trying to encourage her to get onto this final 100 metres. Still not brought her leg kick in. The American fans are cheering from the stands. The Russian fans are cheering from the stands. Come on, Katie. 100 metres to go.
She gets the bell, and she's still almost 2 seconds under world record pace. Katie Ledecky, the remarkable 18-year-old American. She's already the gold medalist in the 400 metres here. In Barcelona, she won the 400, she won the 800, and she won the 1500. She lowered 2 world records. She went on to London and she won the 800 there. And now this looks like another world record coming her way as she turns at the 1450 inside the last lap. And Katie Ledecky is heading for a gold and another world record. The Americans cheering her on. Boyle placed for second, Freach for third, but it's all eyes on the 18-year-old Ledecky. The world record line at her feet. She goes in now with 5 to swim, and Ledecky is going to smash the world record in the 1500 metres. Another gold, another world record. How good is she?
Oh, fantastic. So I've got goosebumps watching that finish.
But it is all about Katie Ledecky here. Another world record, Katie Ledecky. The unstoppable Katie Ledecky.